Straight out the boot room to Wembley, our second home. We come to conquer, no, we never walk alone. We dominate, the cream of the crop, drawing all our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one and one for all. Pass a move, we're talking total football. Here we go again, Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. It's been a mad few days for Liverpool, just crazy. Derby getting cancelled, Newcastle game, Girona game, it's just been a bit everywhere. So we're going to dive right into it. We're going to go back to the Newcastle game because we didn't get a chance to sort of talk about that following on from that. So, yeah, I think the overall sentiment for that is we should have lost. We were exceptionally poor on the day. Thankfully, Newcastle weren't as clinical as they should have been. They had a number of chances to go further in front on a number of occasions. And yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, I'd say. Shouldn't have won. Shouldn't have got anything out the game, really, sorry. But at the same time, you're disappointed to not come away with 3 points the way it's actually played out. We'll do it in order, sort of thing, and talk about everything. So I think it was a bit end to end for the first 10 minutes or so until Newcastle really took control. I think both sides had a couple of half decent chances. But then Isak, I mean, that finish, unstoppable, fantastic finish.
Yeah, I think if you look at the key moments in the game, we look better than we were, and they don't look as good as they were. It looked pretty even. When you look at the stats and you look at it on paper, it's pretty even. But on the day, there was just a feeling about us that we weren't going to get nothing from the game. I think we started all right, a bit sloppy. You know, we've had that 10-minute spell in the first half where we looked like we were going to take control of the game, and then we started stuttering and making mistakes again. And it looked like they were going to punish us every single time. That we've hit the post and then they've come down. They just kept cutting us open, though. There was gaps all throughout the defence. We didn't really look like we knew how to handle their press and their pressure. And the speed they put the ball through was like a knife through butter at times. That goal from Isak is just, as you say, unstoppable. I don't think anyone is getting it. Just an incredible finish. And at that moment in time, they probably just edged deserving a goal. So at that moment, you're probably thinking the next goal to win, a sort of thing, is who's going to go on a rampage. But it was end to end. We didn't play well, but I've said it before, lad, we're able to just turn it up a notch or 10 notches, go down the other end, get a goal, and then we sort of took our foot off the gas again. So we go and equalise, and then we take our foot off the gas and let them back into the game. And yeah, I think Eddie Howe and Newcastle would be gutted they didn't win the game. But the way it unfolded, we were gutted we never won the game as well. So it was just one of them. I said before it, you know, I was a bit cocky. It might have come across cocky. It wasn't. You know, we're just in a really good moment at the time. Playing Newcastle, they were a bit hit and miss. But it's Liverpool and Newcastle. You don't know what to expect. I think at one point I said 4-3 or 5-0. So, yeah, it was fucking dead close game, realistically. But on the day, it felt like we didn't deserve anything.
Yeah. Couple of incidents in the first half as well. Obviously, you had the Anthony Gordon chance. Joe Gomez made a mistake. Kelleher, who it was probably his worst game he's had for us this season, unfortunately. But at the same time, he has still kept us in it at times as well. So swings and roundabouts a bit. But I mean, the mistake, Gomez has been a weird one. I think the last few games when he's had to start, and I think he was brilliant against City. I thought he was absolutely fantastic against them. And in the last couple of games, it seems like he's almost forgot like how to play football like normally. Like he's trying to take unnecessary risks instead of just like playing an easy pass and it just seems like I don't know, maybe he's got a bit too overconfident and just trying things that don't need to be tried. And I think that Gordon chance was an example of that.
I'll be honest, I think that was just a genuine error. He was trying to play it back to the keeper. He's got no contact on it. But again, he hasn't played a lot, so he might still be under like the clock fold in his head where that's how he plays. It's different training, and then you go on the pitch and you're used to doing certain things, and taking them risks that don't need to be taken. And yeah, I know we discussed Quanta at right back the other day, but starting him in a footy match at right back when he's his build, his size, when you've got Gomez, who was being utilised at right back and done very well there, I don't get why he switched them two up. I just don't understand that at all. And I'm not even saying Quanta played bad at right back. He didn't do too bad, but no matter who's up against Anthony Gordon, you're going to struggle because he's a fucking little snake. He's a rat. He's going to dive. He's going to look to be hit, and he's going to wind you up. And he done that magnificently. And I hate his guts, lad. But if he played for us, I'd love him. I really would.
Yeah. I mean, that decision itself, I think that combination in that order won't be getting used again for the foreseeable future, unless we're absolutely unless we're at the bare bones. Like, it made no sense. But yeah, I say Kelleher bailed us out in that scenario. There was something there was obviously the incident with Van Dijk and Anthony Gordon in the first half as well, which we did kind of discuss a little bit beforehand, and it's one of those few occasions where we actually have some disagreement on it. So obviously the ball wasn't in play, and there's been a coming together, let's say, Gordon and Van Dijk, and obviously being Anthony Gordon, he's thrown himself to the floor and he's just been shot, of course. But no, as I say, different opinions on this one. So you think Van Dijk should have went?
Not necessarily think he should have went, but I would not have fucking argued one little bit if he did. And I was waiting for a red card. I was waiting for it to go to VAR and him get a red card. I just don't. Anthony Gordon just ripped through three players, got into our box, went down, picked himself up, and Van Dijk has gone over to that side of the pitch, which isn't his side of the pitch either. He stays on the left. He's gone over to the right to throw his shoulder in his face. And it's not like he's just brushed past him. He's fucking hit him with his shoulder. I don't get his thinking at that point of the game. I don't understand it. I don't know why he's done it. Get him, go in for a 50-50 with him and get a bit of him and a bit of the ball and let him know you're there. Fucking by all means. That's how you should do it. Don't just go and shoulder him in the face. And when you know what he's like anyway, he's going to go down. He's going to kick up a fuss. But my ass went. I'll be honest, I was waiting for a red card and I would not have argued.
See, I mean, I don't think there was as much in it as is being made out. I don't think it's not like he's throwing his shoulder. It's not like he's gone in as if it was a 50-50 or anything like that. I don't think he's throwing anything in it. He hasn't. He's running that way to sort of be closer to the keeper for him to release the ball. Lad. No, but he's not threw any force into it. He's just
made
ran
his way over there.
Gordon,
because Gordon's there.
It's just blocking the player off. That happens all the time. And
the ball's not in play.
He's only. I don't even think his shoulders hit his face, and if it has, it's only because his face is fucking shoulder height. Again, he hasn't thrown his shoulder or anything, lad. They've ran into each other, as far as I'm concerned, and there was nothing in it whatsoever. It's just Gordon.
No, I totally have to disagree with you. He's made his way over to where Gordon's standing on purpose. He's direct. He's walking. He's gone out of his way to walk in his path to get to where Gordon is. And he's made sure he's walked that close to him, his shoulders hit him. He's come from the left side of the box to the right side of the box to get Gordon. And you can see it on the camera. So I don't get why he done it. But it's been and gone. We never got a red card, but I think we're fucking lucky. I think he could have served a 3-match ban for that. And I think I wouldn't have argued. I just think on them situations, players deserve banning for doing stupid stuff like that. When it's, there's not even it's not a heat of the moment. There hasn't been a 50-50 with them together and they've had a little coming together. Van Dijk's not involved in that passage of play and he's made himself go over there and do that just to let him know. So it's more almost as if to say, stop skinning us, lad, or this is what you'll get. But you've got to do that in a tackle a bit more subtly for me. But it didn't work either because he still carried on skinning us. So
yeah,
just one of them.
What did you make of the referee's game overall? I thought he was horrific for both teams.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Like
any
the
big
totting up
Go on.
I was going to say, sorry, the topping up of yellow cards for us and not for them. Again, like I think the penalty decision that we could have had for Diaz in the box was a poor decision. You could argue the one they were wanting for Quansah on Isak. You could, if that gets given, you're not arguing it. I just think it was a really, really bad performance overall.
It was, lad, and it says a lot that Slot felt the need to go in at half time and speak to him, which, again, I've seen the footage of the referee speaking to him before. It's saying, if there's anything you need or anything you need to speak to me about, come and see me whenever. And he has. He's gone in at half time, which is obviously looked bad on our point of view. But I think, why can't managers do that? Why can't they go in at half time? Not plant a seed in their head, but let them know that if you carry on this way, you're going to ruin the game. But I do think that if that's going to happen again, I think the two managers need to speak and say that they're going to do it. They're going to go down and speak to the manager, the referee together and say, we're both not happy with your performance here. But yeah, it's one of them games, lad, where I think it was just too much for him. The game was a bit too fast. And then he decided to stop-start it and give yellow cards. He booked Trent, and you've seen Trent saying, I've been on 2 minutes. It's my first tackle, and he booked him straight away. And there weren't even that much. Again, Gordon skipped over him. It's a trailing leg. It's not a booking. You don't get booked for things like that. It's fucking crazy, lad. Who was it? Was it Nunez got booked again for leaving a trailing leg, and that little fucking Princess Diana looking cunt has jumped over him and spun round, nearly done his cruciate in, and went on the floor. And again, I'll call him whatever I want, but if he signs for us, I'll love him.
Yeah, and then obviously, fuck off. And then obviously you had, like, the one that got me the most was Joe Linton. Allowed to foul 5, 6, 7 times with no yellow card. It was absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, no, I mean, why?
You know why that happened? Because I had Joe Linton to get booked in me fucking bet.
There you go. It's all Jay's fault. No, as I say though, it genuinely was a poor performance all around. Second half, you sort of touched on it before, like, we have that ability to turn it up a notch, or 10 sometimes, and it was one of those occasions, but it still didn't seem like we were ever going to really get anything out the game until the very end. But talk about our goals. The first one, Curtis Jones. Still, it's been a week. I still can't understand how that went in. Like, I didn't even react to it when it went in because I thought it had missed. Like, just the way he's hit it and where it's gone in above the keeper. I don't know how it's gone directly over the keeper's head and gone in. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it's a ridiculous finish.
It's like it's hit some sort of fucking air pocket and dipped in, because it looks like it's going. The way he's hit it terribly. It looks like it's going. It's looping over, and it doesn't. It loops into the net. Fucking fantastic finish. Fantastic play by Liverpool. And then again, we take the foot off the gas. So I think I was saying this to you against. I think it was against like Southampton or someone. When we needed to go down and score, we just turned it up a level and then another level, and then we let them go down, and then we took the foot off the gas, but then we ended up winning the game. But with Newcastle, we done the same. We'd take control of the game for 5 minutes, wouldn't let them have the ball, we'd pass it round, we were fucking looked Liverpool, and then we'd get a goal, and then we'd stop, and it was almost as if we were happy to just calm down as soon as we scored one. I understand after the third doing it, but not when you're fucking chasing a game and you want to go on to win. So just a bit of a mad one. And again, it was the same last night. We just don't look that good at the minute. But again, if you're not looking good, you're getting points on the road. You can't grumble.
Yeah, that's it. We'll talk about our other 2 goals in a minute, but talk about their 2 goals in the second half. Unfortunately, as we said, Kelleher probably at fault for. I mean, obviously the third. Second one, some people would say yes, some people would say no. I think we're both pretty much in agreement with that. Is he probably should have saved it. Too easy for them to set it up. I think you knew what Gordon was going to do. I think what he was going to do was very easy to read, and I don't know who it was who sort of went to block it, just committed it to it, and he's cut inside and scored. But I think it was close enough to Kelleher that he probably should have been saving it.
I think the move itself, again, like we're not really giving them any credit. We're saying everything they've done is because we've been shit, but they did just cut us open. They dragged us out of position, and then they held their line brilliantly to stay on side so many times, shoulder to shoulder with our lads, and just stayed on side. It looked like a FIFA goal. He's cut in like in slow motion, if you want, and our players practically slid past him to just let him get in. I think Kelleher is trying to second guess him and is debating going to his right instead of his left, and that's why he's a bit flat-footed with it. And then he's gone to his left and it's hit him and gone in, but he should be saving it again. But yeah, it was just one of them games. I think Kelleher has saved us in the first half, but then he's cost us 2, in my opinion. Fucking go through them in order, but that third one, I'll never understand it for as long as I live.
And the thing is, he got away with one of them. I don't know what game it was. He got away with one a few weeks back up, and he hit the side net and whoever it was from it. It's just, it's a baffling decision in that situation. That minute of the game, you 3-2 up with 2-3 minutes to go. Just catch it and do a Pickford, like roll about on the floor.
That's what I was waiting for, lad. Like, grab it and go to ground and hug it, volley it to the corner flag, or fucking put it down and wait for them to run at you and then swat it as far as you can. But fucking obviously before that we've got Salah's 2 goals, and the first one again I fucking couldn't remember it, and then I've just watched it back and it was an absolutely unbelievable finish again. One touch, fucking as close to the side of the net as you can get, perfect. And then the third one, one touch, bang again. You're not expecting that to go in because of the passage of play. We're not playing well, but again, Mo Salah, lad, just give him what he wants, and then you can see how disappointed he is in the outcome of the game because he's practically won us that game single-handedly there. And then Kelleher goes and does that. And keepers do have bad times. We've said nothing but good things about Kelleher on this podcast because it's the right thing to do. He's been sublime. Even in games we've won or drew, he's been there to just get it off the line and to make crucial saves. But that couldn't have come at a better time, that mistake, because Alisson's just ready to come back into the team. We said it ourselves, you can't just take Kelleher out without causing disruption because of the performances. And then what does he do? He makes the manager's mind up for him. And I felt like I almost
couldn't write it, could you?
On the night, I thought he's done that on purpose because he knows he's not going to get played anyway, and he's thought, fuck it, I've had enough of this shit, go ahead. But even though he's let it go, you're not expecting that to go in, lad. Left-footed from centre half into the side of the net. It's a fucking great fluky finish.
On the slide as well.
Oh, it's a great goal, lad. He's never going to... If he does that in Spain 400 times, he'll score maybe once again. It's dead hard to do. But... Kelleher 100% at fault. I think all the players are completely committed to that ball going to Kelleher, and they've almost all looked away. They're waiting for it to be fucking in his arms, and then we're kicking off from the centre circle. And I don't know what he would have gained by letting it go out. It wouldn't have wasted any more time than catching it and going to ground. You know what I mean? So I don't understand what was going through his mind other than Alisson's back and I'm getting dropped anyway, so fuck it, 3-3.
Nice to have Alisson back, obviously. Shame for Kelleher, that's the sort of the last image of him in a Liverpool shirt for the time being. That's how his spelling goal is going to be looked at, you know what I mean? It's like, that's the big, and you know what, people are like, they fixate on the errors more than they do the positives about his performances. So yeah, look, he's made an error. He knows he's better than anyone. He's made an error, but his performances for us the last 9-10 games, whatever it's been, have been, as you said, sublime for the most part. So I wish we were 5-0 up when he's made that mistake, but it's just one of them, innit? I mean,
there hasn't been a game this season where we haven't relied on him. Like there's been he's helped us so much. There hasn't been a game we've completely breezed where we haven't needed him. Even Leverkusen, when we've ended up going on to win that 4-0, but in the first half, they've had a few chances, he's made saves, and then our confidence grows, and we go on to win the game. So a lot of our performances and results have been down to the way he's give the defence and the team confidence. When, I said to you as well, when players are going one-on-one, you forget that's not Alisson there because you've got no nerves. You feel like he's going to save it. Unfortunately, he had a one-on-one and a fucking, like a set piece against fucking Newcastle and killed us for both. So, unfortunately, that's how he will be remembered for the rest of the season if he doesn't play again. And it's a shame because that's what happens with goalies. You only ever get your fucking errors.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a thankless job, a bit of goalkeeper daily, innit? So yeah, no, but like I say, great to have Alisson back. And let's be honest, it's probably not the last time Kelleher plays this season with Alisson's injury record the way it is.
And we're in all the cups, lads. So I know, it sounds stupid. The other week we're saying, "Oh, fucking Kelleher's got to start," and then you realise how good Alisson is, don't you?
Yeah, you really do.
And it is crazy, but yeah, fucking hell, that's the fickleness of footy. I was of the opinion, why change a team that's winning? And I do think we are starting to bring a few too many changes. I think we just need to keep the winning side together and see how we go. But just hopefully, if this is our blip, and we've gone to St James's Park and played terrible. They've played probably the best they've played all season. They've took points off City, Arsenal, and Chelsea, as far as I know. And we've got a point there playing probably the worst we've played this season. And then we've gone to Girona and fucking they've matched us all over the pitch, punch for punch. And we've come away there with 3 points. It's just not too bad, lad.
No.
It's obviously, so it's not nice to see us not playing great, but when you're not playing great and it's not catastrophic, that's great. That's what wins you trophies and titles. So fingers crossed we can just keep doing it, but all being well, we up our performance and we start winning games properly again.
Yeah. Just before we move on, I did want to just talk about the one player who's pretty much been on everyone's lips for the wrong reasons the last week or so. Someone we've spoke about a lot on here, but it seems to be at its worst for him right now. And obviously that's Darwin Nunez. I asked the question last week, if people think he's got a future at the club. I just want to preface this by saying as well, anyone going on and like actually abusing him and giving him shit, you're a twat. Go fuck yourself. Doesn't deserve that whatsoever. Like I seen last week people fucking wishing death on him and everything, lad. So anyone doing shit like that, go fuck yourself. You're allowed to criticise him now. As long as it is just criticism, and right now he's just not up to the level. He's not playing to the level that we know he can play because we've seen him do it, and it's just not happening for him at the minute. You can see last night, especially, like he's completely devoid of confidence. He's got no confidence in front of goal whatsoever. It's sad to see, like it is, because I don't think I've come across another player for us who, like, literally the whole fucking fan base, it seems, is willing him to succeed. But you got to look at him. He's third season in now. He's got 3 goals this season. Does he have a future?
It's hard, lad, because I think the Man City game, the fucking effort that lad puts into that shirt and the passion he has for the fans, and when he's doing all the right things in our half. He's winning the ball back. He's putting us on the counter. He's done it against Real Madrid. He skinned 3 of their players and goes towards goal, and he looked brilliant. It's until he gets into the box. His work rate cannot be questioned. His commitment to the football club and to the fans cannot be questioned. But his ability in front of goal can, and it is being questioned. So I think we're a better team with him in it. It's almost as if, like, when the ball drops to Lucas Leiva outside the box, you don't want it to go to him. When it drops to Nunez in the box, you're hoping it's not him. You're hoping it's someone else. And that's bad. There was 2 or 3 against Newcastle he could have tapped in. And it's just not going for him. I feel sorry for him because he's doing all the donkey work. He's running teams ragged. He's tiring them out. And then Gakpo's coming on for 20 minutes and getting a goal. He's getting a tap in against Man City. where it's literally hit him and gone in. Whereas if that's Nunez, that's hitting him and going wide and he's getting shit. He's just not having any luck at the minute, but he's still working his arse off and he's not hiding. So, again, I do believe there will become a time where he goes like 5 games on the bounce where he has a goal and he gets the confidence up. But again, are these conversations happening if he scores them 2 chances against Newcastle? Are we still having the conversations because he scored, you know, it's literally a couple of millimetres of a goal or not? Should be going in, but I'm not losing 100% faith for him yet. I think there's an absolute superstar in there somewhere. He's someone who identifies himself with the fans. It's almost as if like he's one of us playing on the pitch. He plays with that much heart and passion, but he's a striker with 3 goals, and that's not good enough for Liverpool Football Club. So, you know, sentiments can only get you so far. Connection with the fans can only get you so far. But you know, he's had 1 period under Arnie Slot. He's only playing because of an injury. I think he's better out wide. I've said that all along. I think he is better on the left, cutting in. I think he's absolute carnage. Spells last season when he was just whacking the ball to the corner flag and he was holding it up and spinning plays and cutting in and passing it across goal or shooting. That's where he's best, and he's just not a number 9. He's really
yeah. And I mean, to answer what you said there, like, would we be having this conversation if he'd have buried them 2 chances against Newcastle? I think we probably would be a little bit, to be honest, because of his lack of goals and assists this season. You know, we were all sort of raving about him last season. I think he ended up with like 31, 32 goals and assists in all competitions. I think 18 goals, which realistically, it's probably still not enough for what we need at the moment when you're going on all fronts. But it wasn't a terrible return for how often he was starting. It was probably about half and half with him starting and coming off the bench. So I don't think it was a terrible return. But this season, it's just, and again, that could be with Slot coming in to change the system. He might be getting asked to be doing a completely different thing by Slot now. We don't know, but it's difficult for him. And like, you know, I've always been a fan of Nunez. I think he's been just brilliant to watch and just be part of the squad since day one. But against Newcastle, I would have had us bring John Heitinger off on in place of him. Like, I would have had literally I said, just bring any human being involved in our bench on in his place against Newcastle. It just felt like that bad for him. And
he had a mare. He did. He had a mare, lad. And again, it's a mare in front of goal, but then you can hear the fans getting on his back, and you can see his confidence when he's got the ball at his feet, and his passing and everything was just all wrong. And I do think it's a confidence thing. That's the type of player where you give him the ball if you've got a penalty and you go make or break, get yourself on the score sheet, lad, and try and help him. But it's the difference between winning games and losing games. If he loses, if he misses the pen, he could be completely shattered and finished. So it's a difficult one. You know, I think he's at his best when Jota's in the team as well. I think you see the best of Nunez with Jota, not instead of him. So that's one to look at as well. I'd love to see Nunez on the left and Jota in the middle. Diaz as an option for Salah on the right, coming on and cutting in and that like he can, and Gakpo was an option on the left. But them 6 players can all rotate. They can all do it. They can all go through the middle, left or right. So I think we should be utilising them. And yeah, I think Nunez with Jota last season, I think I'd like to see the stats for Nunez with Jota. I'm sure a lot of his goals and assists come with him alongside each other. And I think he started the season pretty decent with Jota when he came on, when he was playing games and he was playing with Jota. And then Jota goes out, doesn't he? So
I think the one thing he's got going for him at the minute is, I don't know if you've seen, Salah was asked who his favourite player to play with was, and he said it was Bobby, but since he left, it's Nunez. And you can see they have a great connection. They really do work well with each other. I think they sort of have the most goals and assists between each other in the team from last season and stuff like that. So you can see there's a connection there. Yeah, it's just a hard moment for him, and it's. I think the problem is right now it's difficult to I can't see where he comes out of it. I can't see a game where I think, right, he's gonna bag a couple there like Fulham on Saturday. I couldn't honestly say to you, I couldn't honestly sit here and go, right, I think he's going to get a couple of goals there. I just don't see it happening for him at the minute.
He just needs a bit of luck, lad. Do you remember when Crouch came in and Crouch won about 8 games and he just looked an absolute fucking crab, and then he hit that ball against Wigan and it looped up over the keeper, and then I think he scored a second, and then he went on a rampage, and everyone was it was the same. Everyone really wants him to do well, but it didn't look like it was going to happen. And then what a fucking striker he was. I think Nunez is in that category where people really want him to do well. You've got your internet trolls and your little bellends of like, get out of my club, and it's not your club, you're a gobshite, you've never been near Anfield in your life, you never will, fuck off. If you wouldn't say, if Nunez walked in the pub and you wouldn't say what you're going to tweet him to his face, don't tweet him it. Because if I guarantee you now, I could sit in a boozer with you and go, like, I wouldn't go, I want Nunez dead, he's a fucking shit house, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say that to you or him. I'd say to you, listen, he needs to be better in front of goal, lad. He's costing us goals. And if he come down and we had a pint with him, I'd try and boost his fucking confidence. But I'd have the balls to say to him, come on, lad, you know, you need to be better in front of goal. And he'd probably go, you're 16 stone and you're 5 foot, you little fat cunt, who you talking to? And I'd go, yeah, you're right there, driving, lads. Yeah, sorry about that. Enjoy yourself. But that's the difference. I think messaging people aggressive and being nasty when the lad's giving up. Do you know, if he was strutting around the pitch like Balotelli and being a prick and doing fucking the team harm and costing us points, yeah, have a go at him. He's not. He's running around, fucking, he's shattering himself every single game. He's giving absolutely everything. He's defending on the edge of our box. He's running through the midfield. He's tackling. He's setting up, and he's trying his best. He's just shit in front of goal at the minute. And just needs that one stroke of luck. I'm hoping Fulham is that stroke of luck. I'm hoping something from fucking heaven comes down and it hits a pigeon and goes in or something like that for him. But he doesn't need that luck when he's on his game. He's got the quality to go and score a hat-trick against Fulham. It's just them little things like millimetres. Again, he's sliding in, and I think that one where he slid in, I don't think anyone's expecting that ball to go across the box against Newcastle. That should be straight at the goal.
Yeah.
It should be straight at the goal, and it's come across, and he's made a last-ditch attempt to get it in. And I think if it went in and you'd analysed, they'd be saying, what a finish. So he's made that ground up to slide and to get his foot on the end of it. But because he's got there and it's gone wide, he's shit.
Yeah, so I know what you mean.
Football's a fickle game, lad, and if he scored 5 on the bounce, people would be asking for 100 mil for him, and you know they'd be going over the top on him. We've just got to get behind him. That's simply it. Salah misses a penalty, we sing his name. If Darwin Nunez is having a bit of a bad game, get behind him, but not to the point where he thinks he can continue to play shit and be a fan favourite. You know what I mean? He's doing things where he's doing stupid stuff and they're getting behind him. Nah, but just support the lad and let him know that he's fucking one of us and that we want him here. And that might be the confidence boost he needs.
Yeah. No, couldn't agree more. No real, obviously there's nothing to talk about when it comes to the derby, but very quickly with the way the weekend ended up playing out, our game getting cancelled, Arsenal dropping points, City dropping points. Unfortunately, Chelsea didn't drop points. They're looking good, in fairness to them. But do you think the derby getting cancelled could turn out to be a little bit of a blessing for us, or do you think it's going to come back and bite us on the arse later in the season?
I think their tails were up after smashing Wolves. I think the conditions would have played into their favour because they are just yard dogs who hoof the ball into the air. I think obviously we wouldn't have been able to play football in that wind the way we want to play. It would have just been a slogfest, and they're a better slog team, aren't they? So, so I wasn't confident. I was gutted because it's Derby Day and you're excited, but I wasn't confident that we would have got 3 points there. And I think if we hadn't got 3 points there, that would have been our downfall a little bit. You know, I think that would have been the start of our little bit of a downfall. Thankfully, you know, we have McAllister who would have been out as well. Kelleher might have been a bit low in confidence. Nunez was low in confidence. So it seemed to just go in our favour. But again, it's it's a derby. Form does go out the window. We could twat them, they could twat us. It's one of them. It's crazy. That's why it's a fucking a boss derby. I just hope they change the fixture to last game of the season, and they need to win to stay in, and we need to win the league, and it'll just be fucking unbelievable.
No, I think if they left it to last game of the season and it did turn and it did come down to we both need a win for something, for whatever it might be, I don't think I could fucking cope. Like, any departments up and down the city would be fucking shocker. Like,
oh, imagine it.
I couldn't
Imagine
do
that.
it. Nah.
Imagine we had to win the league, and they had to win to stay in the league. But again,
no, that would be the most disgusting thing ever.
Teams where they play well and then they look safe and then they get slaughtered. So again, I think they're going to be hit and miss all season. They're going to be 15th to 20th throughout the season.
Yeah.
And it's going to be weeks where their opponents win games and they drop points, and they're all double pointers, aren't they, down there? Again, with us, Arsenal drop points, City drop points, and Chelsea are looking like the front runners to compete with us at the minute. And we know how fast they can all spin round, and Chelsea look vulnerable for 10 minutes, and then just Tottenham have just got nothing about them.
Spurs, don't they?
There's just nothing about them. You'll get sacked soon. Speaking to a Tottenham fan the weekend, and they've already had enough of them because there's just no consistency. Chelsea looking good, lad, but it's just going to be one of them up and down seasons, isn't it? But as long as it's second, third, and fourth that are changing round and not first, I'm happy. If we can stay
same.
There, happy days.
Yeah. Try and wrap up soon because I know you've got to shoot soon. Girona, I don't think there's a great deal to talk about. We went strong, which I was I was surprised about it, but not as much as it would have been if the derby hadn't been cancelled. As we said before, great to see Alisson back. Turns out we very fucking really needed them. Shouldn't have been the case. Again, like I said to you before we come on, it was a proper Premier League rejects team. But they gelled together well. In fairness to them, they played well. They had some good chances. I'd say, another day, it could have been they could have won quite easily. So good performance from them. But yeah, I mean, Slot wasn't happy with the performance. You've probably seen his press conference. He really wasn't happy with the performance whatsoever. And I see where he's coming from. Nice to get to the win, obviously. All but guaranteed top 8 in the Champions League now. Just got to see how the games go tonight, really. But yeah, I mean, performance, not good.
Yeah, I agree. And you want your manager to come out and say that to the media. It's easy to say, we should be saying that behind closed doors and that. But no, if he comes out and goes, delighted with 1-0 win away, and we played well, you're sort of on Brendan Rodgers' terms where you're just lying. So you've got to be honest. And I think the players would have got a grilling. I think they'd have got smoked after Newcastle, and you'll get smoked again. And they deserve it because we are in a title race. We are front runners for the Champions League at the minute, and we want to win the cup. So, you can't be no place for fucking us slowing down and taking our foot off the gas. He's got to nail them when they need nailing, and he's got to do it harshly. As we've said before, I think the difference between him and Jürgen is that I don't think he wants to be footy players' mates. He wants to be the manager and the boss, and he's going to tell them how it is. And I think you can see from that he's just very upfront and blunt to the point. And that's what you need. I think that's what we need at the minute. I think the team, I think he needs to change it again for Fulham. I think he needs to make a few tweaks. But again, we could have a game where Szoboszlai plays really well and Nunez plays really well and they get the confidence. But we're just waiting for that to happen at the minute because, Szoboszlai was meant to be being proper shit against Girona.
I don't think he was, to be honest.
And Nunez. I've seen loads of people slating Szoboszlai, slating Nunez. But again, I was that confident that I had a choice to worm me way back into a footy team and play yesterday night or watch Liverpool in a game I thought we'd absolutely piss. So I went to footy, so I haven't actually seen it. So
now, you know what?
Highlights on Twitter and that, but
yeah, I'll be honest. I don't think Szoboszlai played badly. I think people have got it. People are still thinking of him about what we talked about last time. You know, when he first come in and he was getting compared to Gerrard and things like that. People have got it in their head that he's this like 15, 20 goal a season midfielder and 15 to 20 assists. He's not. He's not that type of player. Like, he got 6 goals in his last season in Germany. Like, this isn't a player who's going to come in and score 15, 20 goals a season. He's not that type of player. People are looking at him thinking he is going to be another Gerrard or like our answer to De Bruyne or to Odegaard or something like that. He's not. And you see, you've said it before, how much he works off the ball. Like, he's an absolute fucking machine in that sense. And there was a clip of him. He was pissed off. He was the only one pressing. He really was. And I don't think it's one of them. He doesn't look like he affects the game, but without him, we wouldn't be as good in the team, kind of thing. And he's just he's a workhorse player, and people need to understand that about him. And when they do, they'll start seeing how good he is. So yeah, lad, I say I don't think his performance was that bad, really. People just have got the wrong expectations for him.
As well, lad, I think we've said about this Champions League format and that, where teams like Girona are going at teams like Liverpool, and they are making us feel uncomfortable. Just as well, you know, we have a capability now where we can play teams and win when we're not playing that well. But yeah, this format, all the teams you're expected to just roll over, it isn't really happening, and that's what's good about it, because everyone who's got a little slight chance of finishing in that top half, they're all having a good go. So it's interesting, but as I say, I really thought, I've seen our team and I thought we were going to steamroll them. I was looking at the stats and stuff, and it just seemed very end to end, and we seemed vulnerable. And when I've looked at the highlights and that, they could have scored a few, and we didn't look too dangerous. But you know, it happens. I think sometimes, again, it's hard for players to get up for it when it is a team you don't really know in the Champions League. And also, like, we've had the weekend off. We're no good when we've had a break. We never are. We're always slower, always more lethargic. We always take a bit longer to get going. I do think we need to be on it on the weekend. We can't be looking at this and going, it's only Fulham. We've got to go for it. We've got to go for the jugular. It can't be one of them games where we sit in and let them have the ball, and that. These are the type of games where we should be dictating the play, controlling the whole game, and being like a cat with its food, and doing as what we want, as and when we want, and being in complete control. But it's never going to be that easy because Fulham aren't shit. But we've got to. I think we've got to try and sort of make a bit of a statement that, listen, yeah, we've had our little blip and we still haven't lost. So let's go out and twat them, ideally.
Yeah. I'm not glad you said that, because, you know, I think Fulham proved it last season when they come to Anfield that they're not shit. I think obviously they proved it the other day against Arsenal. You know, they're a good side. They can go and score. They can score. They play it around quite well. They defend well, crucially. Yeah, it's going to be a hard game. I think people are probably looking at it thinking it's going to be a little bit of a war over, and it's not. It's going to be one of our toughest games of the season. That are really well put together team.
The way it seems at the minute, lad, is we're doing everything backwards. The games where you think you're going to smash teams, we're struggling. And the games you think are going to be dead close, we're absolutely taking the piss in them. We're looking Real Madrid, Man City, Chelsea. We just look dead good, just look dead easy. And then we're playing teams like Girona and, you know, Newcastle weren't in fucking great form. Going there, at times I thought I was just glad you never scored 4 or 5 past us. And then again the other day, it's just the teams you don't expect to really do much against us that are giving us a challenge, and that has to be ironed out soon, because it must be something going on where we are a bit over cocky playing the lesser teams and we can't get up for it. And then we go out and we put on the displays against Madrid and City like we have done, where we're capable of walking over everyone like that. We've just got to want it. And yeah, we've got to start again against Fulham. Go and get 3 points. Got the game in hand, which obviously is massive if you win. It's always nice to get your extra 3 points on the board and it's a game in hand. And let's start ramping home towards the title for Christmas.
Yeah. Have you got? I'm just gonna ask it outright this time. Are you giving a score prediction for this one?
Do you know? Yeah, of course. but I reckon 2-0. I reckon it'll be 2-0. Again, lads, it's one of them. It could be one of them edgy games, and that's how I'm going to see, like, we might get an early goal and take our foot off the gas and then be under pressure and then get, like, a latest goal to kill the game. And again, hopefully it's like a Salah top-off situation where, you know, it's another 3 points on the board and closer to what we want. But it's not going to be easy. But again, you could have one of them days, like, it was at Bournemouth that time, and nearly everything we went in. You just have a fucking, you know, a flick of a switch and all the luck's on your side. So hopefully it's one of them games and it's not a frustrating one. But that Newcastle performance knocked the stuffing out of me a little bit, confidence-wise. You know, you see me flying as a kite going, fucking hell, it's in our hands and all that shite. But as soon as you have a little bump in the road, you know how easy it is to capitulate and fall apart. And that was me nerves against Everton, was that if we had drew there or lost, that would have been the start of a horrid few weeks. But never happened. We ended up with a point on the road to Newcastle, even though we played shite. We've won away in Europe, and we're going into Fulham with should be plenty of confidence that we can win the game at Anfield and go 3 points further ahead in the title race. So fingers crossed that's how the players are seeing it and the manager, and we go out there and we just try and win the game.
Yeah, that's all we can ask, innit? Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I know what you mean. It knocked us, like, I was dead confident about the Newcastle game all week, and then as it got closer and closer to kick off, I was like, nah, something's not right here. And then, like, I was working on Derby Day anyway, so I was even more glad that it had been cancelled. So that worked out extra well in my favour. It's. I know we never played well after a break, but I think this is one of the rare occasions where we kind of did need it. And it's, you know, it's like you said, it's allowed us to bring Alisson back. Obviously no McAllister for Saturday because his band moved, which is a shame. But the midfield, again, it should, on paper, whatever team we put out should be enough to beat Fulham. But we've just got to show them a little bit of respect. Don't think that we're going to just walk over them and the result should come.
Yeah, that's it. We've just got to feel the strongest team we can, but we've just got to be a little bit more forward thinking and maybe take a few more risks. And again, I know I've said on here that once you've won a game, you're not really asked about the sitting back and the playing dead relaxed and that. But we need to start making a few statements and going out and showing teams that we are capable of ripping them to shreds when we need to, even the lesser teams. You know, we could have put 4 or 5 past City and Madrid, but we've got to be doing this in the games that we're expected to do it. We've got to start going and not winning 1s and 2-0s, you know what I mean? We've got to try and start making a bit of a statement in this fucking claim for the title. We've got to start doing it convincingly and letting us relax a little bit as supporters, because the past fucking... It's hard, lad. It's so fickle. I feel so fickle because I've gone from up there to down here. That Newcastle game, as you said, like, my confidence was through the roof. I could see like 3 or 4-0, and then it got to kick off and my stomach was gone, and I was like, I'm not fancying it. I just something about it. I don't fancy it tonight. And then you go from winning to drawing and you're fucking gutted. But when you look at the big picture, we could have lost that game and we got a point. So, yeah, it's still in our hands. We're the fucking holders of our own destiny, aren't we? We just gotta be a bit more convincing in our performances, I think, and hopefully that starts on Saturday. We can beat them, go 3 points further clear, and plod on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to wrap it up there for this one. We will be back after the Newcastle game next week at some point. So until then, as I have been mentioning in the last few episodes, if you are watching us on YouTube, buy Jay's jumper. No,
So
if you
can I just say
go on.
before you say your spiel? So I don't know if you've seen that, the Real Madrid game. We are the men from the Anfield Spying Cup, 1906. It's from the Spying Cup, 1906, lads. So 50% of the profits from the sale of these hoodies are going towards the flag fund to do the next big display, hopefully in like a Champions League quarter final or something, semi-final. So we put all the money together and they spend it on people making the flags and get them held up, and that's why the displays you see in the Cup are there because of this group of lads, and the only way they get their money is through things like this and selling their caps and donations. So if you can purchase one, they are limited edition. There's only 15 left, so if you want one, get on them before Christmas, because then they're getting taken down off the website. I'll have a stall at Hotel Tier at 21 Anfield Road from 12 o'clock against Fulham. I'll have Spine Cup 1906 caps with me there as well, and also all my own merchandise. And on Sunday at Hotel Tier, there's a Christmas market from 12 till 4. So if you want any last minute Christmas bits, there's loads of stalls, loads of Boss Ale, loads of food, music, and just a Boss festive feel. So get yourself down Sunday for that as well, and support the small businesses. And other than that, thank you, bye.
There you go. So there's your weekend sorted. Yeah, so as I say, if you are watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, do whatever you need to, comment, call us knobheads, whatever you feel like doing, that's fine. Whatever you're listening on, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, if you can listen on Amazon, I don't know these days. Google, I know that's one. Whatever you're listening on, again, just drop us a rating on there if you can. Please, that would be absolutely wonderful. Love yous all. We're going to leave yous until next time. Up the fucking Reds.
Up the Reds.